Hello, this is Mr. Bradsby. Happy to be here. We're going to do some more multiplication. Oh, I'll bet you're thrilled. Anyway, yesterday we started with a problem like 28 multiplied by 4. Okay? And we did that in a shorter, more simpler form. The way that we started, and I think this is a good method though, the expanded form, 20 plus 8 times 4. Okay? And you get 4 times 8 is 32, one of the products. And then 4 times 20, and again it's a 10, so put a 0 there, 80. 4 times 2 is 8. And then we added those up and got 112. Well, a little bit shorter, we said we could do that by just multiplying the 4 times the 8 and write down the 32, not have to expand it. We don't expand it, which is this, we're not going to expand it. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 2 is 8, but we got to remember it's 10. So what I tend to do is write down a 0 because it's going to be tens and there's going to be a 0 there. 4 times 2 is 8, so it's 80. And add them up to 11. So you see, these are very similar models, aren't they? Because you get the 32 and you get the 80 and you add them up and get 112. Nice? And you don't have to expand it and do that, and just multiply it. It's quicker that way. So another example would be like 73 multiplied by 6. Okay? 73 multiplied by 6. And so instead of expanding it to 70 plus 3, we know that's what it is. It is 7 tens and 3 ones, right? So going to multiply the ones first here. You'll see later why I like to do it, to do the ones here first. Okay? So we're going to take and multiply 6 times 3. That's 18, right? Okay, now I'm going to multiply 6 times 70, or the tens. So again, I put down my 0 because it's going to be 70 times 6. So it's going to end in a 0. It's going to be tens. And then 6 times 7. What's 6 times 7? 42, correct? So it's 420, or 42 tens. And then add it up. 8, 3, 483. Okay? So this is a method where you just try to remember that you're multiplying times ones, and that gives you 18. And then you're going to multiply by tens, so it's going to be 6 times 7 is 42 tens. So it's got to have that 0. And then add them up, and you got the answer. So that's the way that we looked at yesterday, and I gave you a few problems you could work anyway, but let's try to do this one again. So I'm going to give you a few problems to try. All right, so here are a few problems. Try to do it with the method of just multiplying and trying to remember that those are tens. Get the partial sums and add them up, okay? So put me on pause. See if you can do these. When you're finished, come back and we'll talk about them, okay? Put me on pause. Well, hopefully you were able to complete these. Let's look at the way we were talking about here and see if we could do it that way. Okay, we're first going to take the ones. 2 times 8. That's 16. Okay, now the tens. So again, if you want, you can put down a 0, or just remember those are 50. 2 times 50 is 100. or 2 times 5 is 10, and as long as you got your 0 there, you're fine. Add them up. 6, 1, 1, 116. Is that what you got? I hope so. All right, same thing with the next problem then. I'm not going to waste a lot of time because you did them. 3 times 4, basic facts, 12. 3 times 20. And again, you can put down your 0 and just look at 2 times 3 is 6. 60, the answer, 72. Okay? Then 5 times 68. Okay? 5 times 8 is 40. Okay? Now, 5 times 60. Well, the easiest thing is to again put down the 0. 5 times 6 is 30. Or 5 times 60 is 300. Add them up. Well, that's pretty simple. 0, 4, 340. Is that what you got? Okay. Now this one's a little harder facts, but that's okay. We got to learn all of our facts, don't we? 7 times 9. 7 times 9. Well, remember I talked about that method? 10 times 9 is 70. So take away 1 7 from 70 and you get 63. Or just memorize it. 7 times 9 is 63. But again, you add 70, you get to add 7, you get to 70, because that would be 10 sevens, right? Okay. Then 7 times 30. It's going to end in a 0. 30. 7 times 3 is 21. Add them up. 3, 7, 273. Well, I hope that's what you got, and I hope those make sense now. This is a partial sum. This 63, that's part of the answer. 210 is part of the answer. You add them up, and the sum is 273. And so these are partial sums, we call them. Good language. Well, I'll bet it's no surprise to you, there probably is a shorter method. This is the one that probably your parents use. So if you ask them to do any of these problems and show you how they do them, they'll probably show you this method, because it's probably the most common method people use to do multiplication. Okay? So let me show you. We'll take this problem that we had here. Okay? 58 multiplied by 2. Now, on this method, we need to start with the ones first. And that's why I kind of did the ones first on these examples up here, so we could show you why we do the ones first. So there's really 2 parts to this, and I'll show you both ways, but they're both shorter than the method we just practiced. 2 times 8, as we know, is 16. We had that up here, didn't we? Well, this time we write down the 16, and we put the 1 here. That's still 16, but I'm not going to show the whole number. I'm just going to show the 1 there. And then 2 times 5 is 10, and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to think about 10. Think about that. 10 plus 1 is 11. So there it is. There's the answer, 116. So you could write the 1 for the 16 down here, and you get 10 plus the 1 is 11. So 116. So this is in the tens place. The 2 times 5 plus 1 has to go in the tens place, which is over here. This is the ones place, and this is the tens place. Another way people do it, which is probably more common, is they multiply by this problem. 2 times 8 is 16. They put the 6 down for the 16, and they put the 1 above the 5, knowing I've got to add 1 more when I get the answer. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So you see, this is shorter. We get the same answer, but I try to do my bookkeeping, I guess, by putting the number I'm going to add on either above or below. Most of your parents probably use this one here, which is you put it above and add it on. All right? Well, let's try another example and see. Let's do the 24, this problem here, times 3. Okay, here we go. 3 times 4 is 12, but I don't put the 12 down. I carry the 1 over to the tens place because that's what it is. It's 1 more 10. 1 more that I have to add on, just like we did in this problem. We put the 1 in the tens, didn't we? So I put the 1 up here so it's in the tens place. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, and that has to go in the tens place. We're not going to put the 0 in there, 70, but it is 70. It's 70, and the 1s are 2. Same answer. I hope that makes sense. And again, you could do it if you want to put it below. 24 multiplied by 3 is 12. Okay, I'm going to add the 1 on. 3 times 2 is 6. Add 1 on is 7. The answer is 72. So you could do it either way. Put it above, like here, or you can put it below, as long as you know that it's got to be 1 more. You're going to add it on. Well, let's try this one here. 68 using the shorter method, the shortcut method. Okay, here's what you do. You multiply and you get 40. Put the 0 down. I'm going to add 4 more tens. It's going to be 40, see? 5 times 6 is 30, plus 4, 34. See, you have to use more mental. You have to think about this and multiply and then add it on before you write it down. Fair enough? Or again, if you wanted to put it below, 68 multiplied by 5, it's 40. Put down the 0, put the 4 here. I'm going to add that on. 30 plus 4, 34. So again, you can put the carry number, the number you're going to move into the tens, the number of tens you're going to add on, more tens, just like we had up here in our problem. Okay? We got 40, so I put down the 0 and add the 4 tens on to whatever I get when I multiply. One more example, here we go. 39 multiplied by 7. Well, we know the answer is 273. Let's see if we get it. Okay, 7 times 9 is 63. Put down the number of ones as 3. And we're going to add 6 more on. 7 times 3 is 21. With 6 more, 27. So there it is. And again, if you want to write it down, 39 multiplied by 7. 7 times 9 is 60. Whoops, I got to leave a little more room there. Is 63. Add 6 more on. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 6. 6 and 1 is 7. 273. So we get the same answer, but this is a shorter method where you just multiply, put the number of tens over here you're going to add on. We did that every time. Here we had 63, and we added the 10 on to the 21. Here we had 40, and we added the 4 on to the 30, whatever we get when we multiply. So it's really the same thing, only we're trying to do more mental mathematics with it. I'm going to give you a few problems for you to try using this method. put me on pause and see if you can use the shortcut method to work these problems. Put me back on and we'll look at the answers after you finish. All right, let's look at the answers then. 3 times 4 is 12. And my habit, because this is the one I use, I put the 2 down and I'm putting the 110 up there to add on. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. The answer is 102. And again, if you didn't want to put the 1 up there, you could put the 1 down here to add on. 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay? The next one, 47 times 5. 5 times 7. 5 times 7. What's 5 times 7? Well, it's 35. So if I put the 3 10s over here to add on, but the ones column is going to have the 5, the 35, 5 ones. Okay? 3 10s, that goes up there. 5 times 4 is 20. Add the 3, 20 plus 3. That's pretty simple, isn't it? 23. Okay? And again, if you wanted to put it down, you could put the 3 down here to add on after you multiply 5 times 4, 23. Okay, here we go. 7 times 8. A little tougher one. That's one of those you're probably going to have to memorize because I can't think of an easy way for you to try to redo it. But 7 times 8, 56. Okay? Put the 5 up here to add on after I multiply. 8, that'd be 80 plus 5, 85, see? But 8, or 13, 8 times 1 is 8. Add 5 more. 5 and 8 is 13. So there's the answer. Hopefully you could ask your parents to show you how to do a problem. They could do it for you and probably use this method. But if this is too much, you can always use the partial sum method, the expanded way, or the simplified expanded way. 7 times 8 is 56. This is supposed to be times 8, yeah. 7 times 8 is 56. Now it's tens. 8 times 1 is 8. Add them up. 6, 13. If this makes more sense, use it. So I think the teachers can answer any questions you might have. Again, when you do your multiplication, pick the one that makes more sense. This is probably the simplified, the shortcut method, and this is next as far as time it takes. And then you can do expanded or draw the rectangle, the area model. So whatever works for you. But I wanted to show you this simplified shortcut method that most people use. Teachers can answer any questions. They may have some more practice. You can use any method you probably like. So enjoy your mathematics.